que bueno, en Disney estamos muy contentos este año porque, como bien lo mencionan, tendremos grandes películas, grandes lanzamientos. No sabemos qué película va a ser la más taquillera, porque pues hay grandes, Endgame puede ser, pero también Rey León. Vamos a ver si Coco sigue manteniendo el liderato, así que va a estar muy, muy interesante. Pero bueno, el día de hoy estamos aquí para presentar a Dumbo. Dumbo pues ya está a la vuelta de la esquina, la estrenamos el 29 de marzo. Una gran película, Tim Burton, como ustedes saben, es el director de la peli. La verdad, es una película espectacular. Los que ya tuvimos oportunidad de verla saben perfectamente que tiene grandes efectos, una gran historia. Así que pronto estarán ustedes también disfrutando de esta película. Yo traía como que su biografía preparada, pero la verdad es que no necesita presentación, lo conocen perfectamente. Y pido un fuerte aplauso para el señor Danny Michael Devito.
Mr. Devito, welcome to Mexico.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here again. It's been a while.
When was the last time you came to
Well, let's
Mexico?
see. It's been a while. I know I shot Romancing the Stone. Are you, huh? I shot Romancing the Stone in all over Mexico. And I spent a bunch of time in Mexico City when we were doing that, but that was many years ago. I don't think I've been here since. It's so beautiful. It's really great. I loved coming. The countryside looked really great, and yesterday was really nice. I had great Mexican food,
What
which
do
I
you
was
have?
really looking forward to. You know, I had some tacos and, of course, and some tostada and some, you know, and some fish that was beautifully grilled.
You love fish.
You know, I stayed in, what was it, in Veracruz for a while. We were shooting down there. And I remember that was a really special kind of dish down there, fish dish. Okay, well, I'm a big fan of Dumbo's. I've always been a fan of Dumbo. And, you know, very moved by that 63-minute cartoon when I was a little kid. That was my, that was one of my favorite Disney movies. And it was when Tim called and said he was doing this, I was doing a play in New York, and I thought, my God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to be in it. It was overlapping the schedules, you know, and this, that, and the other thing. But I read the script. I love the part. The part, Medici, is, if you saw Big Fish, it's similar to Big Fish, the circus owner. And also, so we had a circus in Batman Returns. I had a lot of circus folk in Batman. So this is kind of like, would be the trilogy that we finish up, Tim and I. And so it didn't look like I was going to be able to do the movie because I was in New York doing a play. And then you know how it is with movies. I mean, this is a common story. They get pushed. So, you know, something happens. You know, something falls out, some kind of location or something happens, and they say, okay, well, you're scheduled to do it on such and such day, and now, unfortunately, we got to move it 2 weeks. Well, in my case, moving it 3 or 4 weeks was perfect. So I got to do Dumbo. Yeah. Did you see the movie? Yeah, you saw
Some
the
of
movie.
them, some of them.
Some saw the movie. Okay, so the idea is that there's the magic that Tim brings is in the movie. It's big time all over the movie. Tim Burton is all over this picture. The thing about it is that this is a story for old people, young people, kids of all ages. It has Tim's magical vision, all of the things that you would imagine how Tim would handle the subject. There are less, what would you call, brooding, darker things in the movie. It's not in that. There are like sadnesses, and there are emotional moments and things that, but it's not overbearing he did. I think he really worked to keep it on an even playing field so that you could take your 3-year-olds to the movie and the 5-year-olds and also your grandparents. Well, every movie you do is a challenge in some way. This was like an experience of like joy and fun, and I embraced this big time with Tim. You want to be there for him, so that's not a challenge, but actors do. We go all over and do whatever we have to do to serve the director's vision, the writer's vision. And in this case, you had a responsibility also to make sure that it's going to be fun and bright and good for children and good for the Disney feeling, So I guess that was the biggest challenge, but it was more of Tim's challenge than mine. I went and had, like I said, 3 months of really a lot of fun hanging out. The sets were like nothing I've ever been involved with before. Just beautiful. The amount of people there, the clowns, the jugglers, everybody did it. They all did it. The first time I met Tim was in his office in California, and I was astounded by. I knew he was an artist, and I knew that he went to Cal Arts, and he's got a reputation of being. And I'd seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and I'd seen Beetlejuice, and so I went in just in awe of all of the drawings and the way he communicates, basically, which is sometimes there are other directors who do this. They communicate with visuals. It's a lot of look at this. This is the way I see that. This is the way I see this. So there was a lot of what do you call catching up to him as an actor to find out how he worked, and that happened during Batman, and we had a great time during that. And then from then on, how it evolved is it was more, at the very beginning, I was not skeptical, but I just wanted to see. You needed to show me more and show me how the Penguin was going to be and how we were going to approach it and how operatic it was and how big it was and what kind of. And then as we went along, I got more and more comfortable with the fact that the way Tim communicates is in visuals. He shows you he draws all the characters and kind of fits them together, and you get the feeling once you combine that with the script. Then the thing about it is on this movie where I took a big leap with him, because a big part of it for me on this film was watching him work. Well, certainly if a person that I've been working with for many years, like Tim, comes to me and says, I want you to do this very esoteric thing. It's just you and 3 tables and a lamp. I probably would do it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like family to me. So it's got to do with the people you work with. It's got to do with the project, the character that you're going to play. This one was lots of fun. I could just, rant and rave, and I love doing that. And and I got to work with Michael again, Keaton. We've worked together 3 times, Michael and I. But anyway, it's the people you work with, to answer your question. the material and how you feel about the character. You know, how close, how can you get inside the character? If there's a way in, it's good to do. And that's usually my criteria. You know, and if I feel like going to work. I think it's very, very important movie for now. I mean, it's a wonderful movie, and I'm so excited to be part of it. There are themes in the movie that we all are experiencing now in our lives that are happening in our country and in various countries all across the planet, where there's a divisiveness, there's a xenophobia, there's a incredible focus, mainly because of the leaders that we elect in our countries, because we're supposed to look up to them and they're supposed to bring us together, and they actually separate us because they feel like they could have more power over us if we're divided. So we not to get into all of that stuff, but seriously, in this movie, there's this creature that's born just like any one of us with various traits. You know, it's beautiful. Joy. From Medici, I took Mrs. Jumbo. I bought Mrs. Jumbo. I knew she was pregnant. I knew that we were going to have a baby. I didn't know what the baby was going to look like. And I also react in a very, you know, kind of standoffish way at this little innocent baby, this beautiful, innocent creature, because it's different. It has, you know, his attributes. They're just different than everybody else. And so I think it's a lesson in now for not only adults to realize that what we're exposing our children to and how we have to be very, very conscious about educating our children, helping them understand that because somebody is different, that does not mean that they are useless or not value in our, and don't have intrinsic value, human values that we all possess. So we have to, and then for children, the kids to see the movie is very important because they get that same message. And what we have to do is reinforce that message so that everybody knows we're all human beings, that we embrace each other. Well, a little animal with big ears can't, you know, has to be ostracized, has to be looked at in a kind of an odd way. But, you know, our wonderful movie and our story that we've loved all these years of Dumbo, we've always told the same story, that you can overcome things that you seem to be detriments to you, and use them as as very positive things and change your life. So be who you are. Understand who you are, stand up for who you are, and we should make everybody know that that's the way we should operate as human beings on this planet. Yeah, it's heart. It's like inside. It's what's inside everybody. It could be, you know, like sometimes you'll see a superhero movie or what you say in lightning and this, that, and the other thing like that would be like shocking and fun and really exciting to see. And this turns you inside so that it's not just an exterior feeling. This is something that you can relate to in your heart. And you can understand this in your heart. So I'm hoping that that's what this speaks to with all the kids and who normally would like to see a diversity. Normally would like to see. I think a lot of kids like to see, you know, all the video games and all the craziness and all the superheroes and everything exploding and whatnot, and that's all fun too. I like to see that too, but I think it's there's a place in your life and in your heart for Dumbo, big place, and I think it's going to mean a lot to kids when they see the movie. I made a movie called Matilda, which was a while ago, and the movie is now. Everybody has seen Matilda, basically. All the kids watch it, and they all love it. And she's a girl who was like kind of put in a spot with her father and mother, and they didn't treat her like she had any value. And so I think even though there's not a lot of explosions and there's not a lot of like car chases and whatever in that movie, that movie resonates over the years, and it becomes a favorite, and kids pass it on to their little brothers and sisters, and so I think that's what's going to happen with Dumbo. I need you, in other words. You're my feather. I need you guys to fly, because if I just did this alone, it would be no fun. I don't think I could do it. In fact, I know that I staged that fall. You thought I did it. You thought it was a fall. I really did that. That was a stunt. That was good acting.
You were looking for the feather.
No, but seriously, yeah, thank you. I think the feather for us is like that realization when you do something, whether it's in your home or your business or your passion, whatever it is, and you feel like there's somebody on the receiving end, and that feather is somebody that you really need to fly. I mean, I probably could do a scene from a movie and without showing it to you. But it's so much more fun when I share it with you. So it's kind of nice to have the inspiration, knowing that you're there, helping me along. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Fly, Dumbo. Fly.
Baby of mine.